Hello, class. This is Michael Muniz, and the daily routine that I chose from Chapter 4 of Teaching Outside the Box is number talks. Now, just yesterday, I observed a math lesson at the school that I work at by a fantastic teacher, and it was on measurement and data, and it was line plotting. And before the lesson, coincidentally, that instructor, a fifth grade teacher, conducted a math talks discussion right before the lesson, and I found it to be very, very helpful. He allowed and gave the students that opportunity to talk with one another and discuss reasons why we would even line plot, the importance behind it. He talked first about skip counting because sometimes on our graph papers, our x and y um, coordinates, or actually the x and y axes will be like going by twos, 2, 4, 6, 8 up the x-axis, followed by 2, 4, 6, 8 along the y-axis. So the importance of skip counting. Also, the importance of understanding why it is always x and then y axis and not y x axis, because that precision and that accuracy will be completely off. So having the number talks, even just about x and y axes, really helped some of the students I was observing. And then also he got into a real life conversation during the math talks portion of the lesson about the importance of plotting coordinates in real world situations. So I remember him giving a scenario to the class in which the y-axis, which is the y-axis is the bottom line, he would use the y-axis for the time. So he started out with 5 p.m. going all the way up to 10 p.m. And then the x-axis going vertically, he had thousands. So it started from 5,000 or 0 to 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, all the way up. And it was actually about attendance of a concert. And so he asked the students what would be the importance of plotting a graph or plotting coordinates for a math concert. And come to find out, as he was talking through it, it shows that at 5 p.m., which was the very beginning time, 0 amount of people were in the arena. And then at 6 p.m., 10,000 people. At 6:30, 15,000. And it basically began to show that increase of attendance at the concert. And then all of a sudden there was a dip. 9 p.m., a lot of the concert goers left, and then by 10 and 11 p.m. nobody was there. So there was conversations about what had happened. Well, people that went to the concert started showing up at a certain time. They stayed because it kind of leveled out. And then as the concert ended, of course, people are going to leave and go home. So that would be one of those real world situations. So that was kind of fun to see. So definitely daily routines would be number talks, because number talks can go a long way. And those students who really just don't get it can really benefit from that, especially when they hear their classmates use rich vocabulary and give different strategies and methods that they have, because everybody learns differently. So I also looked at the math practice standards, and I would absolutely believe that this would be part of attending to precision, because in part of graphing you do need to be precise. One number off of the y-axis, one number off of the x-axis can be a completely different coordinate, and therefore you would get an inaccurate measurement, an inaccurate reading, or just an all-around inaccurate answer. So attending to precision would be the mathematical practice standard that I would choose. And then as far as when I observed the lesson itself, the measurement and data lesson, I did notice that the instructor, he did have the represent and interpret data Common Core state standard and that was making a line plot to display a data set of measurements in fractions of a unit. Um, so I definitely feel that that was the correct Common Core State Standard for that lesson. I really enjoyed that measurement and data lesson, and I really feel that the number talks was absolutely beneficial, and I definitely will use that in my classroom from here on out with any math lesson, because again, it really helps those students that aren't really getting it. It really helps them understand that there are different ways of solving a problem and different strategies that can be used. So that concludes my part of discussing the Common Core State Standard and the mathematical practice and the daily routine I would use in number talks. Thanks a lot.